up, y'all? Toya here, and I am back with another video for y'all. Before we get into the video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, and share. Alright, y'all. I know y'all probably looking like, what is this angle you got going on here? Listen, we finally made some updates to the equipment, y'all. So I finally got me a little GoPro. I can use that for recording in the car, and I can use this as my body cam. So I can finally do stuff with my phone now. I was recording off my phone for a bit, and man, that was getting a little rough. Going through that battery was, whew. Yeah, so finally got some new equipment, and what better time to showcase the new equipment on the first episode of Toya Reacts. Yes, so we got 3 videos we're gonna watch today, and I'm gonna give you my opinion on them. So let's get started. All right, let me get out the way so y'all can go ahead and see everything. Okay, I'm just gonna sit over here to the side. All right, so let's go ahead and start with this first video. Okay, first video.
If you live in LA, you might see some mini minion looking robots that are roaming the streets. We've got one of the little robots here with us. I can't believe this is really happening in LA right now. How does it work? How many people are being served, and how far can these robots go right now?
No, average delivery in LA is
just I got cut that one out.
1 mile and a half. So these robots can do a
out.
couple mile deliveries pretty comfortably. We've served 300 restaurants for thousands of households already. We've been out in LA for a year and a half.
How does it know how to navigate its way through?
There's a lot of AI in here. So we have dozens of different AI models. It's actually with large language models, it's the same thing underneath, which is deep neural networks that lets these robots understand the world, you know, where to navigate, who to avoid. They're really, really smart. There's like NVIDIA chips in here. It's on the sidewalk, but it crosses the street.
And it won't run anyone over, and it's locked.
That's right, yeah.
Is it mostly In-N-Out burgers out there at this point?
I don't know if y'all can hear the rain outside. That's my insides crying for the robots, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I feel so bad for those robots. Yeah, wow, that was something. That was definitely something. So, first initial thoughts, guys. Yeah, like I said, the robots, I kind of feel bad for the robots. I know they robots and, you know, they ain't got feelings or anything, but just seeing how destructive we as humans are, like, it just, I don't know, it just looks so sad. It looks so sad. But no, like, I don't know how this is going to affect the gig economy moving forward because, you know, nowadays everything's moving to, like, you know, automation and AI, you know, getting rid of the human element. So it's, you know, less stuff the companies got to worry about because keep in mind right now, the gig economy when it comes to food delivery specifically, we got a lot of clashing between drivers and customers when it comes to, you know, tipping. So, you know, putting in robots to deliver the food and completely cutting out the delivery driver, you know, the human, that saves them a lot of money in the long run because that eliminates them needing to actually pay the drivers. So, you know, you just got a robot to go ahead and deliver the food. You ain't got to worry about giving them base pay or peak pay or whatever. Or, you know, the customer ensuring that, you know, they give a tip. Now that I'm thinking about it, speaking of tips, that makes me wonder if somebody is ordering food and they do add a tip. Like, do they know that they're having a robot deliver their food or they're getting a person? Like, I'm going to assume, maybe it's bad for me to assume, but, you know, maybe they select a delivery type and there's like a pilot program option. It's like, oh, you can select this and you ain't got to worry about fees or tips or whatever, right? So it's cheaper for the customer. But, you know, I just wonder if there is no option for you to decide like whether or not you're going to get a human or a robot and you do include a tip, the company going to keep that tip. Or I would assume that the right thing to do would be to give it back to the customer because, you know, you're not tipping anybody, like their robots coming to deliver the food. So, you know, I'm just kind of curious how that will play out in the future. Like I said, I know this is obviously a pilot program, but I just wonder how, you know, that's going to affect things down the line because, yeah, you're probably going to have to pay a hefty penny to get those robots going in the beginning, but after they're out there doing their thing, you know, it's going to save them a lot of money in the long run. So I am curious to see how that turns out in the future. Let me know what you guys think about it. Like, Like, here's something, for example. I got another thing that can kind of tie into it. How many of y'all use self-checkout at grocery stores? Okay, now I know it's a completely different scenario, but still kind of similar, where you're eliminating that employee to do the work for you as far as, you know, the bagging and the scanning and all of that. Personally, you know, if I got a couple items, I don't mind using self-checkout, but I know that a lot of people might feel like it's taken away from their jobs, and I can see that argument. I can completely understand that argument. But like for me, I'm more or less seeing it as a convenience, because I don't have to wait in this super long line with a bunch of people, and you know, this person got like 20 something items, this person's got 50 items or whatever. Like I said, if I got 2 or 3 items and the express lane isn't open, I'm gonna go to self-checkout. I'm not gonna wait in line behind like 3 or 4 other people. I can just go to self-checkout, boop, boop, put my card in and whatever, and I'm out the door. I see it as more so a convenience. But like I said, that's just me. Some people might think that it's taking away their jobs. But you know, I see both sides, right? I don't know. We're just gonna have to see how that plays out, because it looks like they gonna have to work out a lot of bugs between security and, you know, making sure that people can't get into those robots and steal food like we saw in those clips, people tipping them over. Like how do you protect them from that? I honestly felt bad, because those robots, they just trying to get the food going, and people kicking them and tipping them over, and, you know, just bringing them all up and stuff. Like, y'all, come on now, y'all just, bro, I swear, we gotta do better, y'all. We gotta do better. But let's move on to the next clip, y'all. Let's Let's see what we got.
I got a real question for y'all. Nobody getting their feelings, but I'm gonna pose a serious question. Just shopped all these items. It was like 80 items. Okay, so anyways, 80 items. It took me 23 minutes to shop it, about 10 minutes to bag it. We're gonna drop it off. We're about 10 minutes away, so good payout. Well, it's a good payout, I'll tell you that. But is this providing more of a service? Doing these things, shopping, checking out, bagging, sorting, delivering it to people's doors, carrying heavy items. Is that actual better customer service than what we do on DoorDash, where we just pick up and drop off most of the time? Which is easier? Is that why you guys don't like Instacart, don't like shopping? There's more of a service you're providing when you're shopping and bagging and dropping off than on DoorDash most of the time. Would you agree or disagree? Are DoorDash drivers lazy? Are Instacart shoppers, do they work harder for their money? Drop a comment.
Oh my goodness, y'all. I had to wait for this rain to slack up, because literally the moment I started talking, it just started pouring. Like, this is why I haven't been able to do too many deliveries, because there's been like a lot of flooding in this area. So I'm not trying to, you know, get stuck. And I think hopefully y'all can hear me. Because I can't be out here all day trying to wait for this rain to slack up. But I am glad that I did come across this video, because I feel like this is a conversation that a lot of people don't really have, in the sense of like comparing one gig to the next. I don't want to compare it in a sense of like, you know, making it like a competition where, you know, well, this job, you know, it's harder because you got to do this, this, and this. Whereas this one, you know, lazy people, they do this one because the only thing you got to do is do this. Like, I don't want to go ahead and compare it in a sense of that, because there's a reason that there are multiple gig types. Not even gig types. There's a reason that there are different job types in general, because, you know, one job in a sense might technically be easier, but I wouldn't say that it makes you lazy because you decide to go the easier route, where you go and do a job that might require you to do less interaction with the person, or less work in a sense of, okay, I just have to pick this up from point A to point B, or you go to point A and you got to do B, C, D, E, and F, and then you dropping it off. Like, I would say in a sense of service, like, technically you are providing more service, because you're going out, you have a grocery list, you're doing the shopping, like he said, you're doing the bagging and all of that, you're bringing everything up to their doorstep, and you might have to make multiple trips. And you know, you technically could do all of that yourself, but you know, that's why that service is available to you, so it makes things easier. Same with food delivery. Just because I feel like I don't want to go out out and, you know, pick up my food, you know, that's also a service. Me having somebody go pick the food up for me and drop it off at my doorstep, it doesn't necessarily make them lazy. It's just a different level of service. That's all it is. And on top of that, jobs like Instacart, they might be too much for people who have injuries or disabilities. I would say one thing. With all of that service, you know, we want to call it the service that we're providing for people, I would say if we're providing that much more service, like I said, if you want to put it on certain levels, like if you're providing that much more service, you should be getting paid more. You 100% should be getting paid more if you're providing a certain tier of customer service. So yes, in the case of Instacart, you're shopping, you're bagging, you're dropping everything off at their doorstep, possibly making more than one trip because they might have ordered like a week's worth of groceries. You should be compensated for that. You really should be compensated for that. And since we're on the topic of compensation, the reason that people may not want to do jobs like Instacart is simply because they aren't getting compensated enough for the amount of work that they're doing. So let's just say, for instance, you got a $7 order for DoorDash. The only thing you had to do was pick up from point A, drive like, I don't know, 3 miles, and then you drop the food off, you got $7 for that. That's a reasonable payout, right? Versus if you did grocery shopping for a person and, they got like 30, 40 items and it took you like almost an hour to complete everything, get everything bagged up, you get to their doorstep, they got like 2 or 3 cases of water, a bunch of cases of pop and all of this stuff, so you gotta make multiple trips back and forth up and down stairs, and then come to find out they paid you $10 for that. You only got $3 extra for that. So I can see where some people may not want to do jobs like Instacart because they may not feel like they're actually getting compensated fairly. So yes, if you are providing that much more service, you need to be paid. So yeah, I don't want to say that people are lazy. They're more or less just being smart about it, and they're doing the work that is compensating them the most fairly. Not trying to say DoorDash or these other food delivery companies are compensating people fairly, but they're pretty much picking the lesser of the two evils, if you want to put it that way. So, that's my thoughts on it. Now, moving on to the very last video, guys.
That's what happens when you try to do your job. People want to, play games and trying to get over on the system, bro. I know she here. I just brought the food here, literally. Hey, how you doing? Mike from DoorDash?
Yes.
So I just brought you your food, right?
Yes.
About 10 minutes ago?
Yes.
So why am I driving off? Why did I get a dispute claim saying that you didn't get your food and I handed it to you right in your hand?
I never got no food, sir.
You just said you got the food.
No, I didn't. I never got no food.
But you got the Cobra's cup in your hand.
I never got no food.
I got you a double cheeseburger, a fry, barbecue sauce, and a large, in the middle, a medium Pepsi.
Sorry, I never got no food.
So basically, you gonna play this game. So look, I just want to tell you this. Ma'am, this is how I provide for my family. This is how I take care of my 2 kids and my wife. I do this every day, at least for 8 hours a day. And when you dispute...
Oh, okay, this cut off. So I recall seeing part of this video. I guess the one that I found is, a shorter version that got cut off. I don't know if there's a longer version. Yeah, so this is... I can't believe she said, yeah, I got the food 10 minutes ago. Yeah. I ain't get no food. Like, how you say that with a straight face after you just said literally like not even 30 seconds ago that you just got food? See, I can't say what I want to say. Ooh, man, I be telling you about your folks, man. They be out here. Like this type of person specifically, man. Whew. I hope the little loophole in your jeans get stuck on the doorknob or something. Cause like it's a special place for those type of people. Like first of all, I've never had like any type of dispute or anything on any of my delivery apps or anything as far as food delivery, okay? I don't know what that actually looks like on the back end for a driver that has a claim against them saying that, the customer didn't receive the food. I would assume after so many times of this happening, you do run the risk of getting deactivated off the platform. So I feel for this gentleman because, you know, for that person to think like, oh, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and dispute it and say I ain't get my food and I pretty much go ahead and get me a free lunch or a free dinner. Like, you up here trying to finesse DoorDash or whoever, like, that's actually jeopardizing other people. Like, you being selfish is detrimental to other people. And I know there might be some people that are just like simply out there struggling and they don't know how they're going to pay for food or whatever. But, you know, it seems like a majority of the time, most of these people that are doing this, they're just doing it out of spite to, like, I don't know. And it's not even, I don't even think it's anything against the drivers specifically. Maybe sometimes it is. And some people might just be doing stuff to, like, you know, get back at a person. Like, I don't know if they know, you know, some of these drivers personally, maybe they messed up on an order in the past. Like, I don't know. But just to go ahead and put somebody else's livelihood at risk for your own personal gain is like, that's a whole nother level of just, I don't know. I don't even know how to put it into words. But, you know, like I said, I feel for that guy. I feel for that guy. But nah, that chick, I hope her charging cable get so jacked up she got to go ahead and bend it all the way like this just so she can get a charge. And, you know, that might be a crazy thing to wish on somebody, but nah, I'm petty like that. I'll be wishing like petty stuff on people. You know, that minor inconvenience type of stuff. Like I mentioned before, you ever been like mad or something and you walking through a doorway and your loop on your pants gets stuck on that doorknob, so you just like fighting, like, oh my God, I'm just trying, like, that's the type of pettiness like that. I wish that type of pettiness on her. So I don't know what's wrong with me, y'all. But listen, that wraps up the first episode of Toya Reacts. Now, if you guys want to send me a video, please send it to toyadrives1@gmail.com. I don't know why Toya Drives by itself was already taken, but apparently it was. So I gotta do toyadrives1@gmail.com. It is gonna be in the description as well. So please, 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 guys, if there's anything that you guys want me to react to, go ahead and send it to that email and I might feature it on the video. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, stay safe out there and keep grinding.